So this weekend, I'm in Hollywood for the Astra Film Awards. In fact, my hotel room has a view of the Hollywood sign, though it is blocked by a Scientology sign. But in the world of comic book movies and TV, something big dropped right as I was leaving town. The first 2 episodes of Creature Commandos. Now, this is the soft launch of James Gunn's DCU. This is the first official release of the DCU, but of course next year's Superman is the big grand opening to this shared universe. But that does make this kind of a curiosity of what is it like? How does it tie to what came before? How does it set up the future world here? And after the first 2 episodes, I think it's an even more confusing launch to the continuity than I was expecting in the first place. Now, don't get me wrong. I enjoyed these 2 episodes. If you enjoyed James Gunn's The Suicide Squad, you'll probably have a good time with this show. But that's also part of the confusion here, because within the first 2 minutes of the first episode, it makes it very clear that Creature Commandos is very much in continuity with both Peacemaker as well as James Gunn's The Suicide Squad. So those DCEU movies are blatantly the setup for Creature Commandos. And then as for the style, the nature of the show, it is overtly a follow-up to The Suicide Squad on plot points. And then just tone-wise, it's the same thing, just they're not allowed to use humans on the team, so they have to use these creatures. We even have a Rick Flag leading the team. And why do I say that's confusing? Because this has kind of been the struggle that this has had all along of they're launching something new. We got to reboot it. We got to reset it. And the first thing that they put out immediately goes, yeah, that stuff from the last thing, that also ties over too. An odd choice, as well as it is a more niche project in that it's an animated show on a streaming service that is overtly for adults. And it's weird, it's violent, it's sexual. It's got all of the things that make it a little bit more niche when you're trying to do something big and grand. Now, of course, this is the soft launch. It's not the full launch. So I don't think that's going to hurt the chances of Superman succeeding or anything like that. I don't think it has any grander implications. But if you are making such a bold choice as to reset your entire continuity, step on some toes because you said Henry Cavill's coming back, and then you go, just kidding, we're going to do this whole different thing with a fresh new continuity. It's its own thing altogether. You say you're doing all of that, and you kind of launch it with something that really is such a soft reboot because it's the sequel to what came before. I don't get it. That strategically seems like a strange choice. Like, why wouldn't you wait to debut this until after Superman? So your first thing is the one that makes a big splash, gets all the attention, rather than one like this that won't get a lot of buzz. I just don't get it. As for the show itself, as I said earlier, if you enjoyed James Gunn's The Suicide Squad, you'll probably have fun with this. It is very much James Gunn humor, James Gunn quirkiness, James Gunn songs choices for what music to use during action sequences. It's all there. All the stuff that if you like that flavor, he's doing more of that cooking here. I will say it does also feel like the TV version of it, where if you're making a movie, you spend all this time to, what's the best ideas, the best jokes, the best everything. And you're trying to mirror that, but trying to do more episodes, more jokes in less time, or you're trying to write more jokes in less time. Maybe that's the right way to phrase it. You feel like, the jokes aren't as sharp. They're not as witty. The characters thus far aren't as memorable and strong. Even thinking kind of on the Suicide Squad, having a Harley Quinn is kind of that anchor of a character that's very familiar and already loved. You don't really have that here. And the closest thing you have to an anchor and familiarity is, Rick Flag Sr., which is not like Rick Flag was like the big hit that was the draw for the previous Suicide Squad movies or anything like that. So there's a few things about it there. I think it's not quite as immediately as accessible. It's not at that same quality, but it's more of something you might have enjoyed with the Suicide Squad. His humor, those sorts of stories, these characters that aren't clearly good or bad, they're somewhere in between, and moral ambiguity all over the place. So if you like that James Gunn vibe, that's what this is. So I enjoyed it. I didn't absolutely love it. And that kind of goes back to I just find it odd that they would kick it off with this, that you put expectations on its shoulders that this show is not meant to meet. You put eyes on it in a way that this show is not designed to like be examined on that level. So I just find it odd, like it's just a strange choice to schedule this to come out before the big launch. This is like the thing, after you do the big launch, win people over and they go, and we're going to do Superman, that's super mainstream, but we're also going to do Creature Commandos, which is very weird, it's very adult, it's very violent, it's very sexual. It seems like that plays better when it's like, see, we're doing a much broader, we're making shows for different groups of people, not just everything broad appeal. But when you start with that, it's strange to me. It's a very odd choice. Likewise, making it so overtly a sequel to his two previous DCEU projects as the kickoff to the DCU seems like a choice that will frustrate those that are mad about the reboot, and it adds more confusion to the kind of continuity question that I don't know how much in the reality people care about some of that stuff, but I also don't understand the choices. So I enjoyed the first couple episodes as, like, if you're going to have these tie-in shows that, Frank Grillo is going to be he's playing Rick Flag Sr. in live action in Superman. And so if you're going to do some of that stuff, I think it adds some fun in there to have those crossovers and things like that. But yeah, it's good. Like, at the end of the day, it's good. It has more of a thing that I like. So, sorry it's a little bit less refined than some of my other videos. Obviously, I am in a hotel off to an awards show shortly. I have to get ready for it. So I just wanted to get my thoughts out there in some form as best I can with the situation I'm in. I haven't even been able to follow the internet to know what they think about it. I know the reviews from critics have been good, but I don't know the discourse surrounding it from the fandom at all. You guys can help me find out what that is. Tell me down below in the comment section. How are you feeling about it? What do you think about this as the kickoff of the DCU? What do you think about it as the ways that it ties back to the other one? And just, did you enjoy it? All that fun stuff. Keep talking movies and TV too much. Bye-bye.